The autumn wind is a pirate.
What's up, everyone? This is a new installment, a new podcast I'm doing. It's called Raiders World. I just wanted to jump on here and do a fun episode. News has been kind of slow, but this is what I'm going to do. It's on the main channel of Mr. Radio's World, but it's a whole separate podcast called Raiders World. So this is where we're going to talk about the Raiders, talk about any news that's happening, talk about scores, talk about the draft, talk about any off-season signings. Like, this will be the channel for that. I may spin it off into its own separate channel, but for right now, it's just a part of Mr. Radio's World. Because I want the flexibility of talking about other things, but I also know that Raiders content is specific and for a very specific type of fan. So, like, not judging or anything. Sorry, my hat. I have to have it centered. Excuse me. But we did have some additional signings since the last time I did a podcast. We did Sagoon Olubi, another linebacker from the Colts, and then we signed a guard, Spencer Burford, from the 49ers. So super excited for the future of the Raiders. And I thought it would be a fun video if I went down my top 10 disappointments over the last 33 years that I've been a fan. I'll be 34 next week. Getting old, but I kind of wanted to do a fun one. Then I'll do top celebrations as a fan. But this is going to be a fun one here. So before we get to that, so we're going to start off with number 10 and work our way to the most disappointing moment. And you probably already know, and any ones that I include here, I want to get feedback from y'all. So if you have a better disappointment that I forgot about, because there's been really so many, it's hard to narrow it down to just 10. But I'm really thinking about the 10 of the most significant ones for me and how I felt about them, kind of thing. So let's start with number 10. Drum roll. Oh, sorry, that's a terrible drum. It's gonna be number 10 is the Randy Moss trade. Oh, the Matrix. Excuse me. Here we go. Bam. All right. Here we go. So, and it's not necessarily that Randy, I hated Randy Moss. Randy Moss is an incredible player. He was a Hall of Fame wide receiver. It was a great move, but he hated being a Raider. He got paired with Kerry Collins, the quarterback. This is back in '06, I think. But I have a little clip here, and just a little bit of highlight. Boom. He was cold. But the reason why this was one of the most disappointing moments is because how he left. He hated his time being a Raider and he wanted out immediately. And then he got traded to the Patriots, a team that we hated because one of the most disappointing moments is on this list. You probably already know about it. And then they went almost perfect that next season. And it really just bummed me out. But that is number 10, the Randy Moss training. Let's see if I don't want to hear sound on this one specifically. Well, let's keep playing it. Let's play it. Let's see what this person says. Look at that. Boom. He was just phenomenal wide receiver. I really wish a lot of these things we did better at. You know what I mean? Because Al Davis had the right thought process, but didn't build a team around him. I think Norv Turner was the coach at this time. It just didn't work out. Okay. That's number 10. I also, honorable mention before we keep going in this list, I wanted to talk about draft, but I couldn't narrow it down to just one, and there's going to be one person on here, the biggest bust of all time. But I didn't want to just, because the worst draft picks is too broad, I thought. So I kind of narrowed it down to just these kind of events. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so the number 9 most disappointing moment in my Raiders fandom was the Henry Ruggs DUI crash. The reason why this one was tough, it's that whole season of 2020 was a just a tough thing. And let's play kind of a really sad moment, not to like drag him down, because he's obviously in prison. He's learning from this. But it was crazy that this happened, because we were starting off pretty good that season with John Gruden, and then all of a sudden he's out of the league because he had a DUI. And like he just caught a touchdown the week before. So it was like, oh, this is how this offense can run, and then it just went super downhill. Okay, my number eight is when the Las Vegas Raiders moved from Oakland the second time. This one, like, we knew, like, they couldn't get a deal done. They couldn't get a deal done in Oakland, and there was even some drama around. Oakland has lost all of its sports teams, so it didn't really get a deal with any of its sports teams, which is sad, because I just have so many memories of going to the Oakland for Raiders games, being excited, going through the tailgating experience, just loving, even though that stadium was a dump. Like, sewage would back up all over the place. It was a dump, and they needed to have a new facility. But they moved. So the Raiders' history is they originally were the Oakland Raiders starting off, and then they moved to Los Angeles around the 80s. And then they were in Oakland because they moved from Los Angeles from 1995 to like present, right? So each time Al Davis was trying to get a stadium deal done. And each time he signed leases for future promises of stadiums, but those future promises did not happen. And to each his own. Everyone has an opinion on what public money should be used for. Probably shouldn't be used for stadiums. Probably shouldn't be used for a lot of things, but it gets used for that. But Las Vegas came calling and paid them much money. Now the Raiders are in great financial shape and have a 6th stadium. So that one was number 7. Okay, number 7 move to Las Vegas. It kind of broke my heart, because like the vibe of Oakland fit the Raiders. Mediocrity, to be frank. But they also were champions there. It also, like, it was in the Bay Area, so it felt piratey. But now Las Vegas is desert, so it feels like more like Mad Max type vibe than Pirates. So I actually dig the vibe. I think it fits well. I hate when they lean into like the showbiz aspect of like Elvis and stuff. I just think that's a dumb branding from that. They should really lean into like desert pirates, honestly. Desert pirates. Okay, number 6 is just the whole Josh McDaniels. So it came off of them, the NFL firing John Gruden, which is going to make my list, but I'm not going to foreshadow that because that was super disappointing. But what was terrible about the Josh McDaniels hiring, per se, was they came in with a plan and thinking that the roster was better than it was, traded for Devontae Adams, and it was just a disaster all around. They made Derek Carr leave and brought in like Geno Smith and all these mediocre quarterbacks, to where we just had Geno Smith as a result of all that. I mean, obviously there was a couple coaches after that. However, it started from this specific spiral. Like, I understand Derek Carr hate. I do, because he did a lot of things that we were excited about for the future for him, but then he literally just kind of sucked it up. You know what I'm saying? So I just realized that I have Mr. Radio's world here, and that is, I'm going to take that off. But next one, I'm going to put the Raiders World logo, because I created a new logo for this. Anyways, sorry, that's neither here nor there. But this whole regime, it really speaks to, like, you may have the X's and O's part down. Like, he's a great offensive coordinator, but he is not a great leader with the players. And that's the thing I think we forget with football, is it is a people business. And if you can't inspire your people, if you can't lead them effectively, if you can't, like, connect to them, then you're not going to do well in this business. And that's the problem with Josh McDaniels. He is great schematically, right? But he has a people problem. He doesn't know how to be with people. right? And it probably because he was under Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was able to be Bill Belichick in the sense of being gruff and not being the most friendly person or not being, I guess, a player's player because of the success, right? But Josh McDaniels doesn't have that success. But anyway, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's my number 6 disappointing moment is the whole Josh McDaniels regime hiring. Okay. Let's go back. So number 5, and all you Raider fans are probably going to have this probably higher, but Jamarcus Russell being a bust. This one, he did not. We were super excited for Jamarcus Russell. I remember having his jersey. We were drafting a franchise QB. It was legit. Like I was excited. Dude could throw the football 80 yards from his knees. It was it. We were hyped. The problem, okay, so it started off as soon as we drafted him. He got one of the highest contracts. They literally changed the way rookie contracts now operate. Right now, he held out. Okay, he held out and then got the massive 36 million guaranteed contract. It's crazy in his time. He was drafted in 2007, so this was basically how many years ago? What are we in 26? Oh, almost 20 years ago. That's how long I was so pumped, and I'll throw up a picture once I find it. Me and my buddy who went to a Raiders game, all decked out in Jamarcus Russell's because we were hyped that we had him. But one of my favorite Jamarcus Russell stories is that he literally was given a playbook. It was on a CD, a DVD, and he was asked to review the plays. So the coaches talked to him after he got and we came back to practice. Like, so how'd you like those plays? And he basically lied and said, "Hey, we really like those. Those were really good plays. Those are awesome." They gave him a blank DVD. So there was nothing on it, and he just specifically lied about that entire situation. So Jamarcus Russell was a bust, and he is my number 5 most disappointing moment as a Raider fan. Let's look at so part of the bust status is he had poor work ethic and conditioning. I think he got up to 300 pounds. And I'm a big guy. I understand that. But this guy's the quarterback of our team. And he was having some conditioning issues. And he probably was going through some things like getting that money. It changes your life. So I get it. He played 31 games. He threw 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions with a 7-18 record as a starter. In 2009, he finished last in the league in a passer rating of 50. And a completion percentage of 48.8%. He got benched for Bruce Grodkowski. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh my word. Anyway, that's number 5. Okay, number 4 here. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm counting wrong here. So we got 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, Jamarcus Russell was 6. Excuse me. Number 5 would be in 2016. This one killed me. We were on our way to the playoffs, and it was the last game of the season. Derek Carr, we were up, we were winning the game, and Derek Carr gets sacked, and I'll show the sack right here. I'll show the sack here. Here we go. He steps up in the pocket, is grabbing, twist.
You'll see behind number 58, the linebacker Trent Cole wraps his arms around Carr.
I was heartbroken with this.
He's brought down. This angle gives us a better view of Carr's right leg.
Literally broken leg. After this happened, Derek Carr was a different player. Before, Derek Carr was fearless. He was jumping over people. He was operating at its highest level. Then his leg is broken. And basically our hopes and dreams are shattered for that season. No playoffs. Basically, the season's over. I think we had Matt McGloin start in that playoff game. And dude, I was just heartbroken. I think this was also like Christmas Eve. Like I was like, are you kidding? This is how it ends? Oh my god. It was a terrible time. I remember like being like I didn't cry, but I remember being home from for Christmas because I lived in Visalia at that time and came up to um Hopland, California, if you guys know. Shout out. And stayed with my mom for Christmas, and I was watching this game and I was just like he recovered. He stayed the quarterback up until when Josh McDaniels let him go. I think it was 22, 23. Anyways, changed his whole career. Changed to what type of player he was. He played scared, I would say. He was still like gave it his all, gave it everything he had. Loved Derek Carr, but that moment changed his entire career. Ugh. These are heartbreaking, man. These are heartbreaking. Okay. And then this one happened kind of after that in the timeline here. So this is number 4. Number 4, the most disappointing moment. Khalil Mack trade. I woke up at this morning on that Saturday. At I don't know, it was like 8 o'clock. I jumped on Twitter because I had all these notifications, and it was Khalil Mack's traded. So John Gruden had just come in. He wasn't coming to camp. And he traded a Hall of Fame player away for future draft capital because he looked at the state of the roster and said, we're not ready to compete. And it was the beginning of the end of us continuously rebuilding. I mean, we've been rebuilding since the last Super Bowl, right? We've made one Super Bowl in my lifetime of existing, right? But this one was tough. He wanted a new contract. I think John Gruden was mad that he wasn't at camp, and he was mad being disrespected by the amount of money that he were being offered. But then he got traded to the Chicago Bears for 2 first round draft picks, and not shortly after that, Amari Cooper was traded. I was cool with that one, but Khalil Mack kind of like broke my heart. I loved Khalil Mack. I wanted him to retire a Raider, and now he's on the Chargers, and he's probably going to retire a Charger, and it's just never going to be the same. Never going to be the same. My number 3 disappointing moment was Josh Gruden being forced to resign because he used anti-gay, misogynistic language and racist language. Dude, this was a hit job, and I'm still ticked about it. This was a hit job from the NFL, and my issue was it was towards John Gruden from the NFL, right? Something happened with Goodell. Goodell doesn't like Gruden. Whatever. I don't know the backstory here, but excuse me, and I don't have this up. I don't know if I have this article up. But yes, this that's a terrible. Like I'm gonna come back to the open discussion here. Yeah, no, I was so because he had a 10-year contract. These emails were from his time at ESPN, and they got leaked because they were a part of another owner's investigation, John Snyder. And these are the only emails that got leaked. And it just was like, it crashed the team. The team came out, went flat. Then he had to resign. And it was just the beginning of it. And the Raiders were on a building momentum. They actually made the playoffs that year. Rick Bisaccia jumped in and steadied that thing with Mike Mayock. But, dude, talk about disappointing. I love Gruden. And for me, like his whole regime coming back, like I was on board with. A lot of people have their opinions. Him and Derek Carr are polarizing players in Raider Nation. Like, you're either pro or anti. For me, I love them, but I understand the limitations of Derek Carr. I understand some of the limitations of John Gruden. And people in the media hate John Gruden. They always say that his Super Bowl against the Raiders wasn't his team. It was I forgot the coach that actually built it prior to him. It was Dungy's team. But in my head, I'm like, he took that same Dungy team that was underperforming to the Super Bowl, playing against a team he built versus the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like, that's so. I don't understand the hate for Gruden. I think he is a control freak and maybe doesn't draft well. I think that's probably his demise, is him being that way. But this one killed me because I love John Gruden. But it's not close to the level of disappointment I felt in these last two. Okay, so this is number 3, disappointment, John Gruden being forced to resign. Because in my head, it's like, why does this always happen to the Raiders? Why? Can someone tell me that? Like, I get other stuff happens in other organizations, but it seems like every offseason there's some type of drama with the Raiders. And I don't get it. Okay, number 2, let's go back here. Number 2, you guys already know, the Tuck Rule game. Number 2 most disappointing moment in my life. And let's watch the play. Let's watch the play. Pretty much looks like a fumble. Pretty much. And this rule has gotten taken away. It's no longer a rule in the NFL anymore. So this was basically a screw job by the NFL. This built Tom Brady. This built him. I mean, obviously after that play, we still had a chance, and it was still 13-13 here, right? After this play, though, it changed the trajectory of the entire Raiders franchise. After this is the old overtime rules where if you scored first, you won. Ugh. It's just watching it is tough. Anyways, this built Tom Brady. This was one of the starts, obviously, and they had to win the Super Bowl, but this was one of the moments that led to him being there. After this, the trajectory of these franchises vastly shifted. So after this, we have Tom Brady making multiple Super Bowls, them continuously winning, becoming a dynasty, right? On the other hand, you got the Raiders. John Gruden is traded after this season to the Buccaneers, right? And then we have to sit with this screw job over and over and over again. And this is where the hate for Tom Brady came from, really, besides all his other things. But he's great, and I'm glad he's part of the Raiders now. But I hated Tom Brady for his entire career up until the Buccaneers, really. Okay, and then my number 1 most disappointing moment, and I'm pretty sure y'all can guess this, it was the Super Bowl that they have made, the only Super Bowl they have made in my lifetime. Okay? They got creamed. And here is Gannon probably throwing a pick. Oh, no, he throws a touchdown to Tim Brown. Oh, Jerry Rice, excuse me. But they got creamed. This game was pretty much over there. He threw 5 interceptions in this game. This is one of the most disappointing times of my life because I had people make fun of me for being a Raiders fan after this. I was a kid. This was 01, okay? Right? This was 01, right? I think so. What was this? And let's see what that final score. 47-21. That was the final score there in Super Bowl 37. I think we just had Super Bowl whatever. Almost 30 years ago, okay? Almost 30 years ago. I remember like having to defend the Raiders in this loss because my neighbors were Buccaneers fans and they were talking junk to me about the Raiders. So I've been taking it on the chin for the Raiders, being a fan of them for over 30 years here. But these are my most disappointing moments. And starting from the top, we have the Randy Moss trade. We have Henry Ruggs' car crash. We have the Raiders moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. We have the whole Josh McDaniels regime time. The whole time he was there, that was such a disappointment. Jamarcus Russell, okay, disappointing. Derek Carr's 2016 leg break. Then we had Khalil Mack trade. John Gruden being forced to resign by the NFL. The Tuck rule. Ugh, hate that. And then finally, the Super Bowl loss to the Buccaneers. These are my 10 most disappointing moments of the last 30 years that I've been a fan. What are yours? If you have any different ones, if you're thinking about anything differently, let me know. This has been one of my first episodes of officially being Raiders World. I got to get used to that. Raiders World is a new podcast channel. Subscribe. Let me know if we need to actually watch a new channel. If this one does well, we may actually create a new channel. Anyways, thank you. Have a great day. Adios.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea with a rollicking song.